Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon for colleagues in Jakarta and other places who is joining online. I see a couple of colleagues here. Ibu Regina, selamat siang. So colleagues from Jakarta basically has started 6 hours ago for the Indonesia chapter. So they are really 3/4 of the day already. So thank you very much for the chances. We are here. I'm here to represent my team, which is hundreds of colleagues who is working on Peat Impacts project, which is funded by BMU IKI. It has started exactly the same time when the pandemic started. So we have difficulties to start off actually, but then towards the end, we will be closing by the end of this year. And hopefully today I can share, Ferry and I can share the experience from the project. So it's called Improving the Management of Peatland and the Capacities of Stakeholders in Indonesia, or for short is Peat Impacts Indonesia. So as John has mentioned, we all love peatlands. Peatlands is a very unique ecosystem, and Indonesia is home of the second largest tropical peatland in the world. Half of it is already degraded or being used as agriculture or forestry production. Half of it is still intact. There has been a recurrent forest fire, and we know that during the El Nino season, a few years ago, particularly in 2015, peat emission actually is 40%, contribute to 40% of the whole emission from agriculture, forestry, and land uses. So it's a significant number of or significant source of greenhouse gas emissions, basically. Then the government of Indonesia has made a pledge commitment through several policies, and also they have developed this agency called restoration of mangrove and peat that will go till 2025. And there has been activities in terms of rewetting the canal, so canal blocking, so to rewet the peat areas that has been degraded. So basically the peat emission is coming from peat decomposition because of the dried peatland areas, and also from the peat fires, usually coming during the El Nino season because of the land clearing activities using fire. But the government of Indonesia has actually put in place several policies for zero burning. And also the government of Indonesia has put peatland explicitly into the Polu Net Sink 2030 strategies. So the ambition is there, but then we need to understand that there are multiple agenda, there are multiple stakeholders that have different interests across the use of peatland. So in Indonesia only, there are diverse, very diverse contexts in terms of socioeconomic and cultural in terms of managing peatland. So this is where we come from as Peat Impacts, and this is how we approach peatland management improvement, and how to actually increase the capacity of stakeholder. So this is just quickly to say that as a recent update, that the government of Indonesia stays committed even in the long-term development plan in the next 20 years. Actually, within the key performance indicator, greenhouse gas emission reduction is part of the indicators. And also, we are pleased to see as well that there are multilateral commitment where Indonesia has received more than $100 million from result-based payment. So this is partly as well for peatland restoration and management. So the Peat Impacts project has a high ambition actually to contribute to the NDC target, achievement of NDC target, particularly by improving the good peat landscape governance, and then to increase capacity of peat farmers to make their livelihoods through the sustainable supply chain and strong partnership. And then also to look for or to explore mechanism for co-investment towards innovative financing. And then the fourth one is to make available knowledge on green sustainable peatland restoration and management. So this is, we know that it's a huge ambition, and we try to work on it in 2 peat hydrological units in 2 provinces, which is South Sumatra and West Kalimantan, which is quite a peat-rich areas. We will have speakers from the 2 provinces later on after Ferry speaks. So this is the approach that we are developing for peat impacts. Basically, the first focus area is at the level or the scale of peat hydrological unit, which can be across districts and across provinces. So we are to develop evidence-based nested approach of roadmaps for fire-free peat restoration and sustainable management. But for this in particular, we would like this to be evidence-based. So there are diagnostic tools and process that have been developed and have been implemented in terms of looking at the drivers of degradation, source of livelihoods, tenurial setup, institutional capacity, and farmer capacity, etc. And also within this, we develop together with researchers in BRIN, in the agency of research agency of Indonesia, to develop technical method and results to improve to reduce the uncertainties. So far, we use tier 2 for the inventory, but the ambition is to increase it into tier 3. So from this, the roadmap at the peat hydrological unit, we try to broaden it into the district or jurisdictional unit, so that peat restoration and management is not isolated from the whole spatial plan and the whole development plan at the jurisdictional level. This is also to increase the sustainability of the impacts as well. And also, we from the peat hydrological unit, we go deeper into piloting at the village level. We work with the communities, we work with farmers in terms of managing or practicing good agroforestry and paludiculture in peatland areas. And this is very important part. We link this into the mechanism of co-financing, co-investment in terms of innovative ways to have financing options. And then we also link this into the capacities at the national level in terms of accounting, in terms of reporting, and in terms of verification. And also this is the last part is very exciting, the education, knowledge, and public participation, both at the national and subnational level. Basically, this is an intergenerational ways for us to address basically education for climate action. So I think almost 5 years ago, there is a study that says that Indonesia actually has the largest climate deniers in the world. So from that, we think that education through the youth, even starting from the elementary school, is necessary. So this is what Ferry is going to discuss later on. So this is the approach, the theory of change that we develop in terms of achieving the goals that the ambitions of the project. So this is in a nutshell, and basically for this to happen, and because we would like to see this as an evidence base rather than and the impacts to be sustainable rather than having this really as a spot, as a project. Yeah, we also develop tools that can be use later on for other areas as well. The tools, the range of tools comprising of diagnostic tools, co-designing tools, planning tools, investment tools, and policy and monitoring tools. I don't have much time to really dig deeper into this, but I will go into at least two of them. One is what we call it ALIR, or Assessment of Livelihoods and Landscape to Increase Resilience. This is basically being used to bridge between peat hydrological unit level to village level in terms of developing conservation livelihood agreement. So, and then this will also be continued into development of business models. And then another tool that I'm going to delve a bit deeper is on lumens, which has a module of water table dynamics as well. This is being used to actually mainstream the peat management plan into the development and spatial plan. And for that, we also produce the output of intervention map, where to do what actually. And this can be also an investment tools for co-financing. So this is what ALIR is about. We developed this based on the sustainable livelihood approach. We look at the 5 capitals and see how the 5 capitals can be accessed and within what context of policy. These 3 will shape the livelihood strategies in terms of communities choosing how they invest their time, their land, and their assets for developing their livelihood sources. And then through supporting services and enabling factors, this will determine whether the livelihood outcomes will be achieved or not. So we have these diagnostic tools, and we did some assessment in the more than 60 villages in the 2 provinces and peatland areas. So we diagnose the current livelihood and land uses at landscape level, and then we analyze the tenure, the institution that is available, and then together, as a transdisciplinary process, we develop the intervention options that is best as a roadmap for to bring this village into the sustainable peat villages. We call this Pagari, and we developed this more than 60 Pagari document on this. You can see in the table there is a card with QR. All the publication is there. You can also access that. And then the second one, second tools is Lumens, or Land Use Planning for Multiple Environmental Services, which is an inclusive, informed, integrative process that is based on a software called Lumens. This software is a spatially explicit land use and land cover change models, which is coupled with regional economics of input-output model. And this can run into scenarios of development, scenarios of management and restoration. And basically running that within Lumens, we can see the ex-ante impacts in terms of carbon stock dynamics, hydrological function, and also biodiversity. These are the diagrammatic side. And in particular, we have a water table dynamic module in Lumens, which is very important when we talk about peatland, because peat, as long as it has been drained, the decomposition is very high. So one strategy to reduce this emission basically is through canal blocking. So the government has induce that activities or action in canal blocking, but actually quantifying the effect or the impact of canal blocking has not been much studied. So this with these tools, basically this is based on one particular paper by Urzainki and et al. With this module, basically we can have this map, and then we can place the map with canals within the landscape or the peat hydrological unit, and you see you see the dots there. The purple dots is the canal blocks, And with this module, we can simulate the water table depth in spatially explicit manner. So you can see the dots close to the canal blocks is with the better water table, and these are the emissions that can be reduced with those canal blocking. So actually, this tool can be quite useful in terms of planning or managing the action for peat restoration. So with this, actually, with this tool, actually we equip the multiple stakeholders at different scales in terms of developing the intervention option. So this can be part of the strategy of engagement for us with the multiple stakeholders.